Just wet the whistle first.
Nice.
Refreshing. How are we doing?
Good. We're almost there.
It's
2
close.
days.
It's getting close.
Can't wait.
Getting scary. It's almost brown trouser time.
Brown trouser time for you?
For anybody that has transfers involved over the next 24 hours.
Oh, yes. Before the transfer window slowly closes over the period of 24 hours.
Yeah.
Doesn't really slam, does it? They always say it's slam shut, but it takes 24 hours.
It feels like it's slamming shut this year because it's 3 weeks premature.
And seeing as we've just started talking about it, we might as well go straight through it. Man United are supposedly trying to get...
How many defenders?
All the defenders?
Everyone.
And
We're going to buy all the defenders.
So the first thing we want to maybe talk about is the story about the 5 players who were on Mourinho's famous list that he handed the club back in April.
The one he's been kicking off about all summer.
He's been kicking off it. Supposedly the 5 names were
Bale, obvious one.
Uh-huh.
Tony Cruz.
Uh-huh.
Kante.
Uh-huh.
Toby. Alderweireld.
Seems fine.
Yeah.
And the last one is?
Maguire.
So before the World Cup.
Yeah. So why did
Are you a little bit sceptical that story's nonsense?
I am.
Especially as 3 of the players look damn near impossible to get.
They're impossible to get. That's if I was, if that list was to be true, you cannot go right, Jose. Give it a wee bit of fucking.
You're acting the rat. You're acting the grey rat.
You can't be kicking off that dead. Woodward hasn't got all these signings. Of course, fucking Jesus Christ himself couldn't get them. Kante, do you honestly think Chelsea is going to sell another key player to United after Matic?
After the fuck up of last year.
Fuck up is
you
right.
could literally see from then on Conte in press conferences just like, I'm not even going to bother. Like, he was just like, this is over. It was over from that point on.
I wonder, was that a key factor in his departure?
Sure, he said in a press conference that it was nothing to do with him. He didn't want him to go.
That's pretty shitty.
He came out and said it. They basically sold him under his nose.
But you can see why Mourinho would want Kante.
Because Chelsea do stupid things like sell one of their best players to one of their rivals.
It was worth throwing a bit of money at, I suppose, but sure, there's no real talk of it. You don't know if they got shot down from the start or what the story was.
Oh, look, he's a class player, but...
So there was talk of Barca wanted him, PSG apparently are interested. He's world class. Then you've got Cruz and Bale. They're not leaving Real Madrid unless Madrid want them out. They're not going, not in their own accord. Maguire, surely if he was on that list with the last couple of seasons and the way Mourinho does his business, that's done before the World Cup.
Exactly. Should have been done for the World Cup if that's real.
If it's real,
they would have went for him for the World Cup for sure.
And Alderweireld, I'd say probably is true. And
well, they've been after him for about a year and a half.
It looks like it could be happening at the moment. We don't know.
You just need Daniel Levy to come to his senses.
Yeah, I don't think he has them though.
How long has Alderweireld got left in his contract?
1 year.
So he could sign a pre-agreement in January.
Not unless Spurs activate the 1 year clause extension. But that means he can go for 25 million next summer. Release clause.
Oh.
So it's either cash in him now or lose him for 25 next year. But apparently there's no pay rise in that extension. And if you actually take it to court, you can fight it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I heard that today. So
it's way too much information, I think, on that one.
Jerome Boateng as well, apparently we're after him on loan. So obviously we're not going to get Maguire, and Alderweireld's on the way, and Boateng is a loan option for the season until they try to go after Maguire next year again.
Did you think Sky's news story on that was a bit silly?
Which one?
The one where it said Sky in Germany have said that Boateng turned down Man United for football reasons.
Yeah.
But we understand he's still keen. You are Sky. What? How do you think he both turned them down and is still interested?
It's kind of hard to contradict yourself.
Like, what the fuck? What are they on about? Anyway, no, that could be our what the fuck are they thinking of this week?
Yeah, but you see, it could be, as I think I said to you earlier, it could be a case of, Botan United are after, I'm grand, no thanks. No, you really should talk to them. Us like that. Okay, maybe I should.
You'll get paid more.
Yeah.
Well, forget those football reasons.
Once they get paid more, it could be a case of, look, we're not going to start you all season, so look at something else.
I'll definitely get paid more Man United though.
Hey, it's what we do. How much are we paying Sanchez?
Too much?
Yeah. Agreed. Finally we agree on something.
Jesus. 500,000 a week. He's the second, third highest paid player in the world?
Yeah.
And he's not one of the top 3 players in the world. I don't care what anybody tells me.
He's not. But hopefully he shows up this season. Hopefully.
Well, even that, like, you kind of need to know how to get the best out of him, and you gotta have a structure that he likes. But at the same time, he is getting on a bit, and he has had hundreds and hundreds of games. Like, he's been playing professional football since he was like 17, non-stop.
Well, I wonder what happened to him whenever he came in January. He just didn't show. It's almost like we got an imposter on.
But he hasn't been that good all season either. Like, he still gets the odd goal, but he's still got some ability. But I think the thing that made him really stand out was his pace and his sort of a strength. He wasn't particularly big, but he was so quick and so strong.
His work rate.
And his work rate.
Yeah. But
those physical attributes can go away if you have basically burned yourself out from... Like, he never misses a game for Chile, or hardly ever misses a game for Chile. And, he's going non-stop. And I would honestly think he could have burned himself out. It's just my theory on it.
The season will tell the tale.
Well, you look at Fernando Torres, and Fernando Torres hit the 500 game mark because he'd been playing since he was 16. He was playing, Spanish under-20s, and he was playing with Atletico Madrid, and then he went to Liverpool in his early 20s.
And then he could barely play for himself.
And then, once he hit the 500 game mark, he couldn't run anymore. It's like his legs just went.
It's almost like Liverpool now. I was like, 50 million? Where do you want them delivered?
Yeah, I think they kind of got lucky there.
You really did. Like, I didn't want them to succeed at their club, but it was kind of funny to watch. I saw you missed that one on the goal line at Old Trafford.
Good times.
Yeah. So to wrap up the madness that's going on at United, so we're not used to this. Normally our stuff's done this last lot of years, this stage. So at Boateng on loan, apparently Witzel, his agent, has said he turned down United. But sure, hey, look, he's an agent. Would you believe anything comes through his fucking teeth?
I think agents almost have a list of like 3 clubs, and Man United's on them, and it's just like, I have a player here, I want to make it seem like people were interested in him, so I'll say Man United are interested in him.
Yeah, but as far as the media is concerned, United's interested in everybody.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know my call.
Man United won't turn it down because Man United love publicity, because it's good for their Facebook likes, according to Mr. Woodward.
Harry Maguire is still hopeful for a United move. Well, Harry, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but I just can't see it. I don't care. If United offer them 100 million on the spot tomorrow morning, Leicester don't need the money. They're not going to cash in.
He's got a long-term contract.
It's 4 years left. He joined last summer.
Leicester are in the process of bringing in 2 new centre halves, but that could just be because the other centre halves they have are either old or just not as good as Maguire. Although, how good is Maguire really?
I don't know. You see, he had a solid season for Leicester. He had a solid World Cup. He's not a World Cup winner, and so I wouldn't sing great praises. Like, to be fair, like, he did have a solid, but then again, a lot of England players did. They did have a good tournament, to be fair to them. 80 million? Nah. A couple of years' time, maybe I messed up that mark, but I'd rather have 2 players for that money at the minute than just...
Well, you could get both Yerry Mina and Toby Alderweireld for that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you, that's what I'd be spending my money on.
Well, it looks like Mina's Everton bound.
They're supposedly the favourite, and I can't get it. unless people are just waiting to see how he does at Everton,
Everton's almost like
and then buy him.
the rats under the dinner table. Anything that falls off the table, they just go after. Like, you know, how many players did they sign this season? Definitely a few.
Well, we could guess how many, or I could just tell you.
You can tell me. I wouldn't make such a tit of myself. Being completely wrong.
So obviously they bought Carlson.
Yes.
And they bought Lucas Digne from Barcelona.
Is that it?
That's it. However, they have released quite a lot of players.
Maybe they've just been linked to a lot of players. Still 40 million for Watford fella.
For Carlson?
Yeah.
It's definitely big risk.
It's a bit much. What do you want for 8 million last year?
Yeah. They also got rid of Wayne Rooney. Sold him, sent him off to America.
After 1 year of the big return, prodigal son. He looked happy enough on his debut until he got his nose broke. He scored just before that.
Yeah. That's it. Fulham's business has been brilliant.
They've been smooth operators, haven't they?
Getting Seri, Shurla, Alfie Mossam. They got Callum Chambers as well on loan today. So that's that could be good. He's
promising. Yeah, it's promising.
Actually, I wonder how old he is now. He's been promising for a while.
23 maybe.
So
I'll check that out. Do you want to start at the start? Or we'll just do it?
Yeah. Do you know who's not on this list for Fulham? I'm looking at it here.
Who?
Mitrovic. We know Mitrovic is gone. I'm starting to question the quality of the person who put this list together. I would have thought their second most expensive signing would have been on this list.
Somebody at PQ Pods is getting sacked. So did you say something there?
No.
Dara gives me enough grief with us picking on. We don't even pick on like last week when you said moist. You thought you said we were going to get him moist.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just know that's just a word people get annoyed by.
Yeah, no, you thought that's what we were saying. Dara, that's not what we were saying.
Alright, so we're going to go over...
the last thing I want is you moist in the same room as me. That's just not right.
Dude, can we keep this professional?
That is professional. That is state the obvious. Sorry, Dara.
Alright. Arsenal. We'll do some ins and outs. We'll start with Arsenal.
Yeah, go for Arsenal.
Alphabetical order.
Arsenal look interesting this year.
Definitely. Good coach.
Good coach. And he's come on and done the obvious. Addressed the problems that have been gapingly obvious for the last 6 years.
You know, decent keeper.
Very good
who's
keeper.
Still young. Yeah, good keeper.
A lot of development there yet too.
And he bought two sort of hard-nosed defenders in Lichtsteiner and Socrates.
Experienced. That's what that defensive line has been missing, is experience.
It's just... Yeah, it's good.
Gapingly obvious.
They brought in a deep line playmaker, Lucas Torreira. Yeah. He's surprisingly sort of tough for a guy who plays deep in midfield. Or sorry, he's not very big, but he's that kind of deep midfielder that maybe they were looking for.
You see, a lot of their business was done last January too. Like they got in Mkhitaryan and they got in Aubameyang, and I think Aubameyang's going to have a blinder of a season.
I think Emery is going to suit them out, yeah.
Yeah.
With him running off, or
if he can
him getting in behind.
If he can get Aubameyang and Lacazette to play side by side, they're going to be goals.
And Mkhitaryan
as well.
Still got Ozil.
I did like Mika. I think I felt it. I know I needed to part with him to get Sanchez, but it's just another high priced signing of Mourinho's that hasn't worked out. And there's been a few.
Yeah. Well, he's a good player, but you know, I wouldn't even say that, because what people forget is that Klopp brought him to Dortmund, and that Klopp and him, it didn't fit either, because Klopp wanted him to play as one of I think his front three, whereas he wanted to be central.
Yeah.
And I think you could see the same kind of thing happen at United when he played those first couple of games centrally last season. He looked very good, and then as things started to go a bit wrong, he was pushed out wide, and then he wasn't starting games, and then it's like he couldn't get his confidence back when he finally got back in the team.
He's a good player. I was kind of disappointed to see him score against us, but thankfully it meant nothing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so
right,
we're switching to Bournemouth. Bournemouth brought in left back from the Ghana's Diego Rico, decent solid left back, and they brought in Jefferson Lerma.
That was this week, wasn't it? Big money.
Yeah, 25 million.
But that is proper big money for.
Yeah, it's the Colombian central midfielder, big physical player too. Probably suit the Premier League.
Yeah, good World Cup.
The good player.
Good to watch.
And they've got him David Brooks from Sheffield United. Guy coming up in the Championship. You're never quite sure how he's going to perform.
Squad member.
Jump down then to Brighton. Brighton have an interesting one. I'm going to try and pronounce this guy's name.
Go for it.
He's scored. He's like
take a swig of Monster first. Dust those cobwebs off.
That is good.
Okay, go for it.
Alireza Jahanbakhsh.
That's how I would have said it.
He is from Alkmaar. I think he's a winger, scored about 20 goals or something in the Dutch league last year. Isn't that right? You know. The other they brought in is Florian Andoan from Deportivo La Coruña. Another striker. He's just okay. Leon Balogun is Nigerian centre half. Big fellow playing centre half for tall, slim guy. Decent centre half. He's another option, and to get him for free is pretty good business. Jason Steele from Sunderland is, I think probably going to be a backup keeper to Matty Ryan. Matty Ryan's our keeper. Yeah. Very good last year. This guy, Bernardo from Leipzig. Does he play full back or midfield?
He's like a right back, wasn't he?
He can play like right or left back or centre midfield. That's a good signing. I think that's a good sign. You remember Bernardo from Leipzig?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of him. I remember him in FIFA, if that's any relevant.
Yves Bissouma from Lille is like kind of one of those up-and-coming midfielders you see coming out of France all the time.
Yeah.
He's highly rated.
Surprised Newcastle haven't signed him then.
Yeah. Percy Tau is a very quick player coming out of South Africa. He could be another one of those guys a bit like Izquierdo on the wing, who just a nightmare to deal when they get run at you. Do you know what's actually interesting? Not sure when I would bring this up, but I was watching Swansea play Sheffield Wednesday.
Over the weekend?
The weekend. I don't know what got me to look at it. But about 60 minutes in, and Swansea bring Jefferson Montero off the bench. And I was like, they still have Jefferson Montero? Like, why wasn't he playing last year? It turns out they sent him out on loan because whatever, he didn't get on with the coach that they had to start last year, or something went wrong. And now he's playing, he's back with them, but he's in the Championship. And he absolutely tore Sheffield to pieces. He is so fast. He was unstoppable going down the wing, and they were losing until he came on, and then they scored twice when he was on. I was shocked to know that they still had him. And then I was thinking that they went down last year because they couldn't score goals.
Yep.
And their best winger was sent out on loan. That's
what I was just, when you were saying the game he had, I was thinking, surely, Swansea could have done with a player like that last year. Some good coaching there.
I'll tell you what Montero always sticks out in my mind is, I think it was in Mourinho's last season at Chelsea, and he had Ivanovic at right back, and those first couple of games that they didn't win, Ivanovic got absolutely ruined by Montero.
Ivanovic no pace either.
Yeah, and he was up, and Montero's so fast. He is absolutely rapid. And then I'm going, why the hell was he not playing for Swansea last year when they these are the kind of guys you need. If you're not going to be able to go out and buy really world-class players or really even middle top-class players, and you want to survive in the Premier League, you've got to have threats. Or otherwise you're just going to be sitting back for 90 minutes.
Keep the players you have if you can't buy any better ones.
Well, that's it. You need threats. You need, like what Brighton did last year is Brighton had a very average but hard-working striker but behind him they had creative players and Izquierdo, who again is very fast, and so they had threats, and so that meant that you couldn't just push everybody forward. You had to be aware of their threats, and although they finished, I think it was 15th overall, like for Brighton, that was massive. And you need. I couldn't believe it when I just saw him come off the bench. I was like, Montero's still at Swansea. Like, why? Where has he been? He's exactly the kind of player you need.
Well, right? No, they haven't.
No, they haven't. Anyway, we've done Brighton's new signings. They've released quite a lot of players too. Steve Sidwell's gone. Poor Sidwell. He was a good player in his day. We jumped down to Burnley. Burnley have been linked with quite a lot of people, not been able to get them in, but they've got Joe Hart. Had a boy.
Oh, Joe Hart.
You kind of feel for Joe Hart because he went for $3.5 million from Man City, whereas Angus Gunn, the other backup keeper, went for $13.5 million. He was third choice for something City, and he went for $10 million more.
But $3.5 million is the most you're going to pay for a cunt, though.
Hey, this podcast was out in America. That word is not acceptable over there. It's not a term of endearment like we used to hear.
Term of endearment? Right, let me try again.
Well, like, if you're friends with Finian, it's term of endearment.
No, I never was a fan of Joe Hart. He's gone to Burnley to play what? Fiddle with two other English goalkeepers.
Well, Nick
Heaton,
Pope's out for 6 months. Up to 6 months. Heaton's still got a few injuries he's trying to clear up, but I think if Heaton's fit, Heaton probably starts.
Heaton starts for me. I mean, what Joe Hart went to West Ham on loan last season. And see the ball of goals, and then he wasn't even good enough to start.
Yeah, the other one is $15 million for Middlesbrough centre half Ben Gibson.
Good signing.
He's a good quality centre half.
He'll do well. He'll do well for them.
He'll probably suit the way Burnley defend too.
Yeah,
which is very much about doing the simple things right.
It's a good signing.
It's interesting that nobody was in for Tarkowski.
Not over yet.
Maybe he's one of the 4 defenders Man United trying to sign.
14.
Yeah. Cardiff City. Looking forward to seeing Cardiff play?
No.
You're not looking forward to see Cardiff City play?
No.
But what about their wonderful coach?
Wonderful. Is that another term of endearment?
In the opposite world. So Cardiff are up. They brought in Greg Cunningham, which will be interesting to see. Irish left back from Preston.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see him in the Premier League. I hope he gets plenty of games. To say Cardiff, when I watched some of them in the Championship last year, played Route 1 football, would be an insult to Route 1 football. Because it was...
Big Sam, sporting director or something, is he?
I mean, what they had was this like 4-3-3, but the midfield would one of the midfielders would push up because he's like a converted right back. He's 6'2", converted right back. His name slipped my mind now, but he would push up to play like one of the forwards, and they've got Kenneth Zahor, who's another big striker, and a couple of quick guys in the wing, and it was very much just throwing the ball up. If they got a throw anywhere near the box, they'd have gunners and launching them into the box.
Torpedoes.
It was very much, like playing Iceland. It's a very physical team. But in saying that, he got them promoted. Here they are in the Premier League.
Yes, yeah, they do.
I wonder will they be able to score enough goals playing that system, because what they'll do is they'll come up against a team like Leicester, who have players like Harry Maguire. If they still have Harry Maguire.
If they still have him.
Say they have Harry Maguire, and you start launching 90-yard balls up, and Harry Maguire goes up with, as his teammate had put it, with his big slab head, and he heads them 90 yards back up the pitch again.
190 yards back up.
You're gonna have to do better than that if that's the tactic you've got. But you know what? They've got Mendes Lang out in the right wing. Yeah, he looked pretty good for them. He did look like their most creative player whenever I watched them last year.
No,
we've talked probably enough about Cardiff, and we want to get on to
the good one. Let's go.
Chelsea.
A lot happening.
A lot going on with Chelsea. I've been predicting or I've not been predicting. I've been questioning Chelsea transfer policy because there wasn't one.
No, I guess like lucky dip to put the names in the hat.
They weren't picking, but they weren't picking anyone. And like I said before, Sarri is known for being a non-transfer guy. He usually asks for 1 or 2 players from his old club that can kind of set the tone for the system, and they got that with Jorginho, who
was City bound for a long time, or so they thought.
Yeah, he would be the kind of midfielder would fit well in the City, a nice ball playing, deep line midfielder, but he wants to play a 4-3-3, but they saw in the Community Shield that Man City walked around them.
Oh, destroyed them.
Walked through them.
It wasn't that City didn't look interested, or not. Sorry, it wasn't that Chelsea didn't look interested. They couldn't compete.
Man City didn't look interested and still walked around them.
Yeah,
they did. However, Chelsea did sign Rob Green for free. It's a good sign.
It's an interesting one, but apparently it's not the only goalkeeping position to be filled.
Yeah,
Courtois looks to be going.
And Athletic Bilbao confirmed that Kepa has activated his release clause. They assume he's on his way to Chelsea too.
80 million.
80 million.
Fuck.
Well, he's a highly rated keeper, and
he is, but 80 million.
I'm wondering now, did that 500 million that was supposed to be spent in the stadium, have they been given access to it? Because because
Roman was like fuckies.
Because Roman was not for paying a lot of money up until just now, when they've kind of feel that they have to.
Maybe they said he sat and watched the Charity Shield and went, Jesus Christ.
I think they were trying to hold on to Courtois for as long as possible, and eventually when he didn't show up for training for those 2 days, they were like, we gotta move.
Surely when someone's going, you just get them out the door, get the replacement in, and get set for the season. I mean, they didn't even have the manager in place.
Do you want to know how long I've known Courtois is going to Real Madrid? How long has he been at Chelsea? 2 years.
2 years.
Right. Well,
he
was out on loan for ages, but then
he's out on loan.
He's been first choice for 2 years, right?
He took the first team slot at Chelsea in Mourinho's last season.
Right. Well,
you can see the ball goals.
In that season, he did an interview where he said how much he misses Madrid and that he wants to go back there. He said it in an interview.
That's because his kids are there.
But he said that straight out. He was like, I don't like living in London. I love Madrid. Madrid was amazing. I want to go back there.
But that's something you and I discussed many a time because of Real Madrid's pursuit of David De Gea. I've always maintained that, well, look, Courtois got less time on his contract. He wants to go there. They should sign him, and then De Gea.
You see, what I would have thought was that someone would have been able to get Jan Oblak from Atletico, and then he would have just went back to Atletico. But at the same time, the players at Atletico Madrid seem to have fully developed Stockholm syndrome and are never ever going to leave Simeone now. Like he has mastered the art of convincing these players to stay and convincing some good players to come. They could be very interesting in the Spanish league this year.
Yeah.
You want to pause so you can take a piss?
Please. I drank too much like
you're like a baby. You could have gone before we left the house.
I did.
Alright, let's pause it there. And we're back.
Yeah, that was needed. I'm sorry, I couldn't
feel about it half a stone later.
I wouldn't be able to concentrate for the rest of the pod. I'd be fucking dancing. Anyway,
we're talking Chelsea and the Courtois stuff, and that they're bringing in Kepa and he's gone. That's do you know what? Every time, is it? I'm trying to think. It's Spanish. Is it Kepa or Kepa? We'll just say Kepa. Yeah, every time Kepa makes a mistake, there's going to be a lot of puns because he's a keeper. Or if he...
That's the last time I'll laugh at that terrible joke.
If he doesn't stay for very long, he might not be a keeper.
No, I won't laugh a second time. It was really funny the first time. And I'm actually quite disgusted.
It was two different types of keeper.
I shouldn't have laughed the first time. Disgusted with it was it is.
Alright, so
anyway.
Chelsea have also been linked today with Nabil Fekir. They've been linked with him for a while, though I think the big story today was that one of the... Oh, Giroud. Giroud had come out and said that he talked to him about how great Chelsea was whenever they were out together at the World Cup, and that Fekir was pretty bummed out about his move to Liverpool falling through. And all I have to say to that is, how about you rehab your knee properly next time? Huh?
That's some good sturdy advice. Some good sturdy advice. Right.
Alright, we're just skipping on to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace brought in a goalkeeper from Getafe on a free. Guaita used to play for Valencia. He's a solid enough keeper. I'm not sure if it'd be first choice or backup, but he's a decent enough keeper. It's always good to have plenty of good keepers.
Especially in the Premier League.
Especially in the Premier League. They've also brought in Chik Kouyaté from West Ham, which I think is probably a good signing.
It was 10 million they paid for him.
Big physical midfielder or centre half. He's got a bit of a presence about him, and I think the way Crystal Palace play, he'd probably suit very well.
I think he'd do okay.
Nice.
But their best signing.
Potentially their best signing.
Yeah, and one of the gems of the transfer window.
Max Meyer.
Yeah, on free. It's crazy. He must have really shit the nest at Schalke that nobody wanted to touch him.
I think part of it was that when he was running his contract down like Goretzka, he didn't get a move to Bayern like Goretzka did. And
did the Bayern want them?
Bayern want everyone. If you're half decent at a German club, Bayern want you.
Bayern wanted Martial, but they wouldn't pay the money for him.
But
was the reports anyway?
Well, if Martial went on loan to a German club and they challenged Bayern in Germany, they'd soon buy him.
He scored against us.
That's
put him on the list.
That's it. Send him on loan to Dortmund or someone like that. There you go.
That's how we do it.
That's how Bayern buy their players. Who's the best player in Germany that has caused us the most problems? Buy him so it doesn't happen again. That's the
philosophy.
That's their transfer. That's their transfer policy. Real Madrid's transfer policy, I think, is probably the best one. Well, it's probably more apt during the Galacticos era. They would open a window in their offices in the Bernabeu and throw a stone out onto the street, and whoever the stone hit, they would ask him, who are the 5 most famous players in the world? And whoever that player mentioned as the 5 most players in the world, they'd probably try and get 1 or 2 of them.
I thought it was they just looked who won the Player of the Years and the awards in all those countries and just bought them.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Like their scouting system is Google.
Well,
just Google.
We'll move on to Real Madrid and Barca after. I know you want to have a wee word with them.
Yeah.
Right,
Max Meyer could be brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a very skillful midfielder, and
I definitely have him in the fantasy football team, which I must do this evening before I forget again.
Yeah, I must go in and make some final changes to mine.
And then create a league and have the rest of the boys get it and then argue for the next 9 months about it.
Oh yeah.
What a headache.
Alright, so Everton, like we did Everton.
Yeah.
Rickarlison, Lucas Digne, who gives a shit. And
no one gives a shit.
Fulham, we talked a bit about Fulham. Like I said, they brought in Mitrovic, who was a big part of the way they played, being that hold-up player in their front three.
He scored a lot of goals then, didn't he?
Well, he scored a lot of goals, but he also helped out Sessegnon, the left winger, the young player they've managed to hold on to.
The wonder kid.
The wonder kid. He is very good. Like, he's the hold-up player, so he can take the ball and bring him into play, or bring midfield into play. You can then play him in, and he got quite a lot of goals, quite a lot of assists. So that'll be interesting to watch this year.
Huddersfield
brought in Ben Hammer from Leicester in a free.
Never heard of him. I'm sorry.
Ramadan Sobhi's an Egyptian winger. Before you say you've never heard of him, because
I've heard of him.
He didn't really play with Stoke though. He barely played. Here's an interesting signing that Huddersfield have made in Terence Congolo from Monaco for $17.5 million. He could be a very, very good centre half or left back.
$17.5 million.
Played him a lot of left back last year, and I think actually they played him midfield in one game against Liverpool.
Monaco are a good setup. A lot of players coming through there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Congolo could be very good for them. Nice athletic left-sided defender. They're good.
Might put him in my team.
Yeah. Juninho Bakuna, I know very little about him apart from the fact he came from Groningen. That's it. Eric Durham, I know, is a fullback who can play left wing or left
back
or right back. He can play either. Yeah, he's played. Handy. I think he's a right-footed player who played a lot of left back, or it's the other way around. But that's the big one. The other one, then they bought Adama Diakhaby, I think, is another big centre half from Monaco. So
They've tapped up Monaco.
They've beefed up their team a bit.
Tom Ince is away again.
Tom Ince is gone again. Did you know Tom Ince is at Huddersfield?
I did.
I'd forgotten.
I did, but I thought he was injured or something because he went off the ball again after about 2 games.
They also released Rob Green.
Funny. Who was laughing when Rob Green got released from Huddersfield?
And then ended up at Chelsea.
Who's laughing now?
You know what? He could be getting 60, 70 grand a week to just sit on the bench. Maybe not even the bench.
He'd be the happiest player there. You see him smile no matter what's going on the pitch. They're losing, they're in 16th position. At least Rob Green looks happy.
Sitting there collecting these
He
checks.
finally got his dream move.
Alright. Leicester City.
Leicester done some
James Maddison from Norwich. What do you know about him? I know a few bits about him.
Promising.
Attacking midfielder.
Yeah. Promising.
Got quite a few goals.
They punched 30 for him.
Yeah.
They got him at the start of the window. £22 million.
I think he could be another one of those guys that they want to play just off Vardy. Another guy who can run like Okazaki. Okazaki's not the youngest. Like he's very good at that, playing that kind of running off Vardy.
Yeah.
And Vardy just runs in behind it, but then doesn't have to run the channels as much because he's got. Maddison can do that quite as well, or he can play on the wing. You know, he's very much an attacking midfielder. Or if you're going to be playing kind of a 4-5-1, and you need a guy who can run from deep in to make an extra man in the box, that's what he's brought for. He's not even that old. He's maybe 21, 22. Big money though. 22 million.
Yeah.
Although that's money. Ricardo Pereira from Porto is the right back, isn't he?
That's the right back.
That could be another very, very solid signing for them. You know, so they're
Johnny Evans
from West Brom.
3.5 million over 2 installments, I believe.
Good signing.
Yeah.
Experienced defender. Although, do you know what I'm just thinking? We said that they were after 2 more centre halves today. They've got a lot of centre halves at the end of that, don't they?
Many centre halves as a tech to
Although,
Maguire.
Although the one, there's a Turkish defender, is it from Freiburg, who's Soyuncu, I think, Soyuncu, trying to remember his name, and another guy come from like Sparta Prague.
Maybe they are cash now on Maguire, and that's why
but they are
piling up on centre backs.
They're both young. The 2 centre halves they're linked with today, and so is Maguire. But with Johnny Evans there being kind of like the old head to them,
he's a good experience
as well as Morgan. So they've got a couple of experience.
I would have welcomed him back at United.
It's a bad mistake by Louis to let him go. Robert Huth's been released. That's sorry, Robert.
He got his medal.
I quite liked him.
Yeah.
You always kind of liked him.
Big brute.
Remember when they went to a back 3? And they had him and Wes Morgan. And the third centre half made him knock up. Rain's not working. And he looked awesome. No, they didn't go to back 3. It was just him and Wes Morgan. Wasn't that it? He looked fantastic that season. They won the league. It was his best season ever.
Was abnormal. They have sold Mahrez at long last. It's been going on for 2 years?
Well, at least one and a bit.
Yeah. He finally got his move though. He's been looking to go since they won the title.
Danny Ward, Liverpool sold him for 12.5 million, which is impressive for a keeper that played maybe once last year for them.
12.5?
12.5 million for Danny Ward.
And Joe Hart goes for 3.5?
Joe Hart goes for 3.5. Liverpool love to squeeze every fucking cent out of these transfers. We didn't even mention it when we were going by Crystal Palace. But Crystal Palace were supposedly trying to buy Danny Ings, and it was 20 to 24 million Liverpool were looking for him, and they were just trying to maybe sort out the payment plan that Crystal Palace was going to be on to pay that. But
right, refresh me.
Forget that for a second. Crystal Palace already spent about 30 million on Sacco and almost 27 million on Benteke from Liverpool. Is it every time Liverpool needs some money they ask Crystal Palace, do they want one of their fringe players?
And then Liverpool go to Southampton. The local Southampton.
Hey, look, we haven't bought him for Southampton in a while. Okay,
a year.
Do you know what's funny is? Do you think we could have got Tadic for the 13 million we spent in Shaqiri?
Oh, absolutely. He's away as well, isn't it? He goes to Ajax.
Yes, Tadic went back to Ajax. You're right. Surprised Liverpool wondered.
Right, sorry, Danny Ings. How many games has he played in the last 2 or 3 years?
Very few. Klopp loves him. Klopp could have got rid of him last year, but kept him, and then he got injured again.
He must be a great crack or something. Is it 22 to 24 million?
Yeah. Well, look, it's... The idea is that if it wasn't for the injuries, they'd think that's what he'd be worth in this market anyway.
For somebody that knows their way out in the medical room.
Look. If you could get away with it, would you charge Crystal Palace that much money?
Oh, absolutely. It's just the fact that Crystal Palace are entertaining it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. They've also got in... How do you pronounce that name?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's like an attacking midfielder winger, came from Monaco.
Monaco must have
No, Monaco just like buy one player and then just turn over the conveyor belt to the next crowd of talented kids.
Next.
You know, they've had a year now with Tielemans in midfield, and although he didn't get in the midfield early this season, as the season wore on, he started becoming the midfield along with João Moutinho, and João Moutinho left, and Golovin came in pre-season. I've been watching it, and Tielemans has been playing and the João Moutinho role. So it's almost like they were like, here, this is the guy you have to replace, and next year you'll replace him.
You're going to be him.
You're going to be replacing him, and you know they've got a good system there. You know, Moutinho's gone. We'll actually talk about him later because he's gone to the Premier League finally.
Right, that's enough on Leicester.
Alright, so next we want to talk about the team that has spent the second most in Europe at this stage.
Liverpool.
And they did their business pretty early.
They did, to be fair. A couple of them were sniped. I've never seen them coming. But shout away there.
Alright, so
let the masses
for
know.
me, the big signing is Isaac Christie Davis from Chelsea on a free. He's Dominic Solanke's buddy from the youth team that they got last year. They were like, Chelsea, a youth team player that was not signed the contract. Up here, lad. Special dorm rooms for you lads. Ex-Chelsea players, so you can adapt to being Scousers.
To adapt to that.
So a year ago about this time, well, maybe slightly less than a year ago, they signed Naby Keita, and he's finally in. I've watched him in pre-season.
Solid.
I think maybe because it's pre-season that he hasn't gotten booked yet. Is the only reason he hasn't got booked yet. But he likes to put his foot in, and he likes to run with the ball, which is odd for a central midfielder, especially central midfielder in Liverpool. But so he'll definitely. I'll tell you what though, I watched against Liverpool for Torino, and they had Fabinho holding Wijnaldum to the right of him and Keita to the left of him. And it's almost like Keita arriving, Wijnaldum's thought that his position's under pressure because he has been on a tear in pre-season. I think he's been really...
Everton are up there again.
Yeah, we got another Everton. Everton now want Andre Gomez, according to the Daily Mail. I don't know. I don't think anyone wants Andre Gomez. That's why Barcelona offered him to United. Like he had a decent enough season at Valencia, and they went and spent a fortune on him, and then they realised we don't really want him at all. Anyway,
sorry about that.
Let's not get too worried about it. Like I said, Kate is an improvement on the centre midfield as they have, or apparently, you know, it'd be interesting to see if he can get into that midfield because they'll be, you know, those guys judging by the way Milner and the way Wijnaldum and even some of the young players that have come into the midfield during pre-season, they have been absolutely chomping at the bit. And
I wouldn't want to be Jordan Henderson.
Well, Jordan Henderson played last night. And
I thought he was on holiday to Christmas.
He actually arrived back for his first training session, and he actually played.
What are you doing here? You're wrecking the joint, man. Settle down. Right, anyway, who else you got there?
You're wrecking the joint. They obviously got in Shaqiri, 13 million. Shaqiri I actually watched, and I had this theory about Shaqiri that he's actually there to help Daniel Sturridge, who they're going to keep for another year, because they've no other strikers really to back up Firmino. And I watched Sturridge, and suddenly they brought on Sturridge and Shaqiri pretty much at the same time last night, and it's almost like Shaqiri is there to play passes to Sturridge, because Sturridge can still do it, but maybe not as well as he used to. You know, he's not got the pace to sort of run at defenders all the time, and I think he used to find it hard to play in the Liverpool system, which was about getting the ball to Firmino to sort of make things happen for the wide players. Whereas now, if he plays and they play Shaqiri with him, Shaqiri can find him. And the goal that he scored last night was again Shaqiri picking the ball up on the right, sort of drifted inside, dummied like he was going to go to the fullback, and just chipped this perfect little ball in between over the defence and in between the two centre halves, and Sturridge tucked it in the net. And so that's kind of my thing. Is he's kind of here to bring that out. Of course, they bought a goalkeeper. You know,
did they?
They bought a goalkeeper.
But you got Karius. Why would you want a goalkeeper?
You know, I don't know. Like,
Mignolet.
I mean, he's this Allison chap was supposedly a decent keeper, but we'll not worry about that. Well, apparently Mignolet's on his way out too for another about 12 or 15 million.
Keepers are us.
Like I wonder, like, this Michael Edwards guy. Michael Edwards, yeah, Michael Edwards, the guys in Liverpool's, the guys in charge of Liverpool's transfers. I wonder when he goes into these meetings to sell players, has he the thickest pair of brass balls to ask for this kind of money for these fringe players?
Just shout.
You're like, oh yeah, we'd like to take Danny Ings off your hands. I know he's been injury prone. You got him for free, essentially. Well, maybe like
20 million.
8 million. He's like, oh yeah, you can have Danny Ings. I will start the bidding at 30 million and work our way down. And they're like, are you joking?
Are you high?
Nope.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Right. Who's next?
Well, let's scroll down to Man City.
City have been rather quiet, but then again, what did that team need from last year?
Exactly. What did it need? Did it need a Riyad Mahrez?
Depends if he's going to start ahead of Sterling. Sterling scored 20 goals last year from standing on the line and the ball hit him. As an all-out winger, I'd say Mahrez would be better. But will Mahrez squeeze with 20 goals as Sterling scored?
Well, Mahrez is very much more kind of a creative player as opposed to a pacey winger. He's got a nice all-round game for a guy who likes the kind of like what they call like an inverted winger.
You see, you had Walker go down the right flank, Sterling go on, and then you had Sané coming on the left flank that also met Sterling in the middle.
Will Benjamin Mendy be fit this year for them to play left back? Yeah. That'll be like a new signing.
It will be like a new signing. He did celebrate hard on the trophy day. I wasn't sure he was just happy to get out of that fucking wheelchair or what the story was, but
poor man. I've also bought 21-year-old centre half Philippe Sandler from PSV Zwolle. Highly rated, young, fairly mobile centre half. Whether he'll play much, but he's just another option, I'd say.
Tell me this: where did Yaya Toure go?
Nowhere.
I know he was offering to play for free for some top 6 clubs.
Yep.
But I wonder what
the top 6 clubs said no, because we don't want you. We are not in the habit of giving out birthday cakes all the fucking time.
This is my birthday. Okay.
Man United. You want to take this?
Right, we brought in Fred from Shakhtar.
What have you thought of him so far?
So far, pretty impressive. Has he been tested fully yet? No. But he's been consistent from the games he's played. He's been solid. He doesn't look like he falls under pressure. He handles it well. Moves the ball about. 2-footed. I'll give him a starting spot and see what he does. So I would. And then we signed that young fella. What do you call him?
Diego Dalot.
Yeah. He's injured though. I think he's out to the end of September.
Even then, he's only, 19?
Yeah.
He's one for the future, I thought. League Grant, solid enough third choice keeper.
Yeah. And then obviously there's going to be 1 or 2 to add to it.
Daley Blind's gone to Ajax.
It's a shame. I like Blind. He's the Dutch John O'Shea. But yeah, no, we just didn't have a starting spot for him.
Pereira gone out on loan again.
That's the goalkeeper.
That's Joel Pereira.
Yeah, that's the goalkeeper.
I was certain they're going there.
Andres Pereira's still with us. Hopefully he gets a game. I'll actually start him on Friday night.
I thought he played quite well in that Liverpool game.
Yeah,
in the pre-season.
I'll give him a go.
Alright, so Newcastle have actually bought some players.
Did we actually speak about Pogba and the Barca bid?
Want to? The Barca bid where they offered 45 million
plus
Yerry Mina, which you'd be going, okay, fair enough. You rate him at 30 million, so that's 75 million altogether. Plus Andre Gomez, who no one wants, so that's still 75 million.
They can't say he's worth 45 if you don't think he's worth 45 yourself.
Like, come on. This is what Barcelona do. They lowball the shit out of people, all the while doing deals with a player and the agent behind people's back.
No, we'll come back to the Barca tactics.
I've started now.
No. We need to focus.
Right. Let's just call this. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I think that what's made the Premier League so rich is rivalries.
Yes.
So Liverpool Man United being a big rivalry is good for the Premier League. When Liverpool are shit, I don't think it made the Premier League as entertaining. But that's just me. I think a Liverpool team that's at least challenging is good because it's such a big worldwide fan base. You know, Chelsea and Man City, as much as they've got a lot of money, they've not really got the same kind of... I just don't think they've got the same kind of passion. Like, you saw their... I don't know if you saw it, but they tried to do what Liverpool fans did, where they welcomed the bus into the city, and they were just kind of like, sup. Like, the Liverpool fans were chomping at the bit for those games, and you see it as well. Like, you know, people often make fun of United's Old Trafford atmosphere not being great, but their away fans are full on.
Yeah,
those guys are full on, and I just think that I would hate for Man United to be rubbish, but I would love for Liverpool to beat them. Now, having said that, selling Pogba would definitely make Man United worse.
Yeah.
And again, having said that, if I was in Man United's shoes and I got that offer from Barcelona, I'd be telling them to go fuck themselves, because that's an insult. That offer was shocking bad.
That's Barcelona not having any money and just chancing their arm.
You know what?
But it's been rejected.
Barcelona have less money than people think, because they're trying to redevelop their stadium. It's going to cost them a couple of 200 million. The only reason they spent 100 million on two players last summer was because they collected 200 million from the Neymar deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that they've no money. It's just they don't have they don't have Man United money. You know, even Real Madrid don't have Man United money at the minute. Like, it's, you know, and Man United aren't spending it because they think that, you know, transfers are getting out of hand. They're trying not to be held to ransom.
But you see, my point is, well, United have rejected it. Pogba looks to be staying. But if we bought Pogba for 93 million 2 years ago, and since then Neymar is now worth 222 million euros.
Yep.
And Pogba's won the World Cup. Do you honestly think 45 million plus Mina plus
who do you think is better? Who do you think is better? Pogba or Neymar?
Pogba doesn't lie down and cry as much. I don't say he doesn't do it, he just doesn't do it as much.
I mean, everybody does it, but I wouldn't, like, we all know Neymar's good, but if I was picking a team tomorrow and I was told that I could have only one of those two in it, and obviously they play different positions, I would pick Pogba and figure it out. Yeah. You're like, oh no, you can't have Neymar. Okay. Fine.
Eventually Real Madrid will get him, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, on the Newcastle.
Newcastle. Newcastle have brought in Martin de Braak. I remember the goalkeeper came in halfway through last year. Was very good for them.
Yes.
They've got him fully in, undisclosed. Practically nothing. He's not a young keeper. I think he's late 20s, maybe 30, but he's a good solid keeper. He was very good for them when he arrived. They brought in Key on a free. I think was that the Swansea midfielder Key?
Was.
Solid enough midfielder. Kennedy got him from Chelsea on loan.
He done well on loan last year.
Very good for them on loan, so they'll probably be happy with that. Fabian Schär for 3 million. Pretty good business considering they sold the centre half for 7 who couldn't get in the team.
But so Ashley's back pocket.
You know what? That's a good enough signing. They brought in Muto from Mainz for an undisclosed fee, supposedly about 9 million. Muto was decent. He was decent for World Cup. He was decent enough.
Not bad.
Decent enough, but I think probably one of their most useful signings, Solomon Rondon. Rafa loves him, a hard-working, physical, mobile striker. Kind of that guy with that all-round skill set. He may not be the world's best finisher.
Would he get you 15 goals a season?
Well, he might not, but what he provides Rafa with is a hard-working target man. Yeah. Sometimes you can get a target man like Benteke who can't run or doesn't want to run, but then like a guy like Rondon's going to run and he's going to push defenders around, and he's also going to, like, he can run and he can play as a target man.
That's a loan deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a loan deal, but they swapped Dwight Gale also in loan. So it's a weird deal.
Okay.
It was a weird deal.
Yeah.
Alright, we're jumping down to the next team, which is Southampton. Southampton are also, like Crystal Palace, one of the teams linked with Danny Ings today. And I wonder if the fee Liverpool are asking is because of the fee that Southampton have asked Liverpool for some of their players. Like, how do you like a Southampton? Dicks.
We'll give you 75 million for Van Dijk. Here's
the first one. Stuart Armstrong arrived from Celtic for 7 million from Southampton. Southampton have bought so many players from Celtic in the last couple of years, then turned around and whinged when Liverpool bought their best players. I'm sorry, you do the same to Celtic. People forget that's where Van Dijk came from, that's where Wanyama came from, that's where Foster came from, and now Stuart Armstrong.
Yeah.
Some of their best players, some of the spine of the Celtic team, and then they're like, oh, but Liverpool are buying our players. Football food chain, bitch. We have to sell them to Barcelona and Real Madrid. Alright? You don't hear us whining about it, except for when it happens. Like,
I was just about to say that.
Alright, so, you know what? Southampton, they're usually pretty good at picking players out. They've got El Nusi from Basel for 16 million. He's a highly rated player, but hasn't, I thought he would have moved before now if he was that good, but he's another winger, probably to replace Tadic, who managed to avoid Liverpool and end up Ajax. And
yeah, I fancy that.
Yannick Vestergaard, massive centre half. Just want to say Yannick, the massive centre half they got from Mönchengladbach.
Okay,
he's a big boy.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know who it is.
Big fella, big Danish centre half. Yeah.
Big what?
Danish centre half.
Okay.
Angus Gunn from Man City, as we said, for 13 odd million, because Man City rated him higher than Joe Hart.
Depending on what they enjoy at the fucking
yeah.
Spa.
Good times. Tottenham Hotspur have brought in no one.
Oh, Daniel Levy. What a bastard.
Definitely selecting explicit content in this one. They do like to leave it to the last day and hope that prices will come down.
They have, yeah, like January sale. No, they have bid for Jack Grealish there today. Like Villa have said all summer, Grealish can go for £35 million.
So Tottenham, being Tottenham, offered 25 million.
No, they offered 15 during the summer first. They've now raised it 25, playing hardball.
And Villa have said, nah.
We've said 35. Daniel, you're supposed to be a top accountant here. How are you getting this so wrong?
Do you know the difference? Was there a bad line in the cell when we contacted you? We said 35. No, you're still saying 25. We're saying 35. We need to text this to you? You need it in binary code?
I'd like to refer to my previous comment about Daniel Levy.
Anyway, so
yeah,
transfer window's still open. Tottenham will probably do something in the next day or two. It's normally what they do.
Well, they've less than 24 hours now. This time tomorrow night, it's over.
Yeah, so
Watford
have brought in Jared Delafou. That's the maybe the standout one. Decent enough winger. He went back to Barcelona, and he didn't get
nothing.
He didn't get a lot.
He got game time because Dembele got injured, but he did nothing with it.
Yeah, they've also got Mark Navarro, fullback from Espanyol. I think he's right back. Yeah, he's a good, decent enough player. Ben Foster from West Brom.
Oh, I don't know they got him.
Yeah, would he be good for them to get in their team?
Ahead of Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez a bit in the agent side.
A bit of a calamity too. A touch of David James about him.
Calamity James, good times. They have sold Richarlison for 40 million, so they should have some money about.
Got the party money there.
Ching.
Right, who left with?
Well, there's a couple more. There's guys like Ken Sama from Osterunds. Don't know much about him. Ben Wilmot, Stevenage.
Who? Don't
know much about him. Other than that, it's been a lot of players out. Tommy Hoban, Irish defender's gone on loan. Marzarati's gone. Did you even remember that Marzarati was at Marzarati? Was it?
No.
Was that? Didn't
I haven't heard after he left West Ham. I don't know where he went after that.
Unfortunately, Nordin Amrabat has gone to Al Nassr. That's surprising because I thought he's a good player.
Sad times.
I quite like him. Alright.
And I didn't even have time for this one. Holy shit. West Ham have basically bought themselves a brand new 11 or thereabouts.
So they've bought 35 million worth of Brazilian attacking midfielder Felipe Anderson
Anderson
Does he play as a winger?
He's a winger. He was linked with a lot of big clubs over the last lot of years, and then he's gone to West Ham.
Yeah.
Go figure.
They've also bought Yarmolenko, who was linked massively with Liverpool and then ended up at Dortmund, where he didn't really get on very well and is now gone for 17 million.
Very low transfer fee considering the current market.
Well, the thing about him is he's approaching 30, Yarmolenko, if I'm not mistaken. I want to just double check that because I don't want to look like a tool or sound like a tool.
He's been around for a while.
But yeah, I think when Liverpool were trying to buy him, he was 25, 26. So 28, he'll be 29 before the year's out, so he's not the youngest, and I don't think he had the best time at Dortmund. What he is, though, he's a very fast and sort of physical player.
He hasn't done anything since he left Russia, really, though. He's been...
And one of the big money signing Jack Wilshere on a free.
Jack could do well if he keeps himself fit. I think he needs a good season.
It's hard to get a consistent season though if you are going to have muscle injuries like he does have. Ryan Friedrichs is right back from Fulham. They got him a free. He was very solid for them. Lucas Fabianski's come in playing goals
to do the job that Joe Hart didn't.
Issa Diop from Toulouse for 21 million. That's a big money on a player who's maybe not proven.
What's 21 million in this current market? So for money.
Yeah, he's a big physical centre half though, so we'll see how that goes.
They released James Collins after about 10 years.
Yep, they released Patrice Evra.
Did he even play more than 3 games? Well,
as long as he wasn't kicking his own fans.
Hey.
Now let's get to Wolves. There's more going on at West Ham, but nothing we really care about. No. So they've gone out and bought Adama Traore, who's a very highly rated ex-Barca youth team player.
That was today or yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was at Middlesbrough. They've got him for 18 million. Very powerful, very quick, very very quick. He's that little stocky style player, very fast and hard to knock at the ball.
Cut it in the Premier League.
Well, he's been in the Premier League once before and didn't get on, but he's still not that old. I mean, he might be 21. You know, he could be about to explode. Like Rui Patricio, currently undisclosed apparently, because apparently it was free, but they seem prepared to pay whatever Sporting Lisbon do in their lawsuit against West Ham for citing the player for free, who basically just bailed on his contract because of the unpleasantness at Sporting.
Unprofessional conditions.
Well, it's fucking ridiculous. Fans attacking the players.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Go figure.
Yeah, they brought in Benica Fobe from Bournemouth. I think they'd sold him to Bournemouth and then bought him back again.
That sounds about right.
Weird one.
One of the top transfers of this window had been done with Wolves, and it was another Monaco player. Juan Montinho.
Certain João Montinho, yeah. Quality player.
Yeah.
He's not the youngest.
Can he still cut it though?
Yeah, well, they've brought in. They've got a permanent signing of Diego Jota, who was one of their sort of front three last year. Scored plenty of goals for them. Ruben Vinagre is a fullback, so that's another. I think they had him last year and they got him on loan. But they had him on loan. João Montinho, like we said,
he was
quality player. So they got him pretty cheap too. Raul Jimenez, if I remember correctly, is a big Mexican striker.
Is it?
Well, he's about 6'2", 6'3", he's tall, sort of.
Can't place him.
Yeah, unless I'm thinking of the different Raul Jimenez that was at Porto, but it wouldn't.
Does that round it up?
We're almost there.
Because I want to.
Yeah, it's the same Raul Jimenez I was thinking of.
I want to get a brief chat about the fixtures this weekend, maybe a wee prediction or two. Consider next time we meet up.
Oh, do you want to talk about how that you thought for some reason that Chelsea were going to beat Man City in the Community Shield?
No.
Did you just think Man City wouldn't be interested?
If you listen back, I only said Chelsea because you said Man City.
Did I go first?
Yeah, you were first. You said City, and I was like, okay, I'll go Chelsea.
Well, like
that's how much interest I had in it.
Before Chelsea started, before Chelsea found the key to Roman's safe and started spending his money again, I was convinced they were going to be in trouble this year because I'm not sold on the Sarri-Zola combination. I'm not sold on it. I'm just not. And their transfers have been a bit weird. Like I said, like we both said, that going for Kepa is It does look a bit panic buy.
It is a panic buy, but...
And then going for Fecker. I mean, this is not the first time that they've basically gone and bought a player Liverpool almost bought.
But to me, Kepa is not a... He's a panic buy in the sense that they're willing to throw the risk cause. They get him this late in the day, but he has quality. It's a safe panic buy. And they've also...
You don't think he's going to have the same problem De Gea when he arrived? He need a year or two to adapt?
Possibly.
He's a bit older than when De Gea arrived, though. He's 23 or something.
Should we look at the fixtures?
You pull up the fixtures there, good man.
Okay, it starts off with Manchester United Leicester at Old Trafford Friday night, 8 PM kickoff.
That's the first game, Man United Leicester.
That's the first game that kicks off the new Premier League. So it's going to be, Harry Maguire probably will be wearing blue, to be fair. I just can't see it go through this lid. Who do you fancy?
Leicester without Riyad Mahrez, but with James Maddison in their team. Maddison's not nearly as good as Mahrez, even though...
Like, is the likes of Vardy back from the World Cup? There's Maguire.
How fit will he be?
Maguire only started training this week.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 0-0. Because Claude Puel's well capable of going completely negative in this game. And I think... Will Man United have...
Rashford's back. He's played.
Okay, so they've got Rashford back, but will they have Lukaku?
No. I don't think so. He's back, but he hasn't
But Sanchez has been there pretty much all pre-season.
Yes.
Whoever they sign the next day or two, I can't imagine they'd be in the team by Friday. So I'm trying to think of what team United's going to put out. Are they going to have Eric Bailly and Fosu Mensah centre half?
Could be anybody, to be fair.
Fosu Mensah being kept around?
No.
Has he been?
He's gone out.
He's gone on already?
Yes.
Just sell him. Would you just sell him? You don't want them.
I'm going United one.
If Lukaku was playing, I'd go with a 1-0 United win.
I'm going United one.
I'm going to go with a draw.
I'm going to go...
You're going to go with a probably 1-0. 2-1 maybe.
2-0.
2-0?
2-0.
Expecting United to go all guns blazing?
I expect Leicester to be so bad.
Leicester might not be great, but like I said, Puel could just go and say, break up the defence. Hey, look, he might have Wes Morgan and Johnny Evans centre half.
It's possible.
Lock that shit down.
But we're going to have Rashford and Sanchez, and that's, to me, is key. And Fred's going to play.
Fred, there's no bread.
2-0 United.
Alright, let's go with that.
You're going 0-0?
I'm going to go with 1-1. Because I think United can score in them, but I also think they can score in United.
Okay. Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Newcastle are hosting Spurs.
Spurs start the season badly and have a load of players at the World Cup. I'm going to go Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah.
I still
think
Spurs will beat them.
They will, but they won't have Harry Kane.
Harry Kane doesn't score in August anyway.
Yep.
That's why they give him extra holiday.
But they don't have Son either.
No.
Son is away at the Asia Games.
Well, who did they have up top? Ali Lung's back.
Did they sell Janssen or was he only on loan last season?
I think he's gone.
Yeah, so that's they've got to find themselves someone to play up there. They've got some young players that they could put out of France. I can't remember his name.
You know what? I'm going to go draw there.
You're going to go draw?
I'm going to go draw.
I'm going to go Newcastle with a narrow win. I'm not going to give you the score because I just don't know.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Bournemouth, Cardiff City. Bournemouth home. 1-1.
Bournemouth like to play nice football. They've got a good new midfielder though, a nice hardy one with Lerma.
Who you signed though? Will they be playing this weekend?
Yeah, and Cardiff like to play
with themselves.
Mega Route 1.
Oh yeah.
Mega Route 1.
I'm going Bournemouth 1-1.
I'm gonna also go with a Bournemouth win.
Fulham. Crystal
Did you do Huddersfield Chelsea? Or is that further down your list?
It's further down my list.
My list is different to your list. Anyway.
F comes before H in my list.
I just picked random here.
Fulham, Crystal Palace.
Fulham. I think Fulham could be the surprise package this year.
Fulham will start well with Palace. Fulham could put
Palace
past them.
Fulham. We'll go with something mad and we'll just go Fulham 3-0.
I'm going to go 3-0.
Fulham 3-0. Let's go.
I just got that feel. Huddersfield Chelsea. Huddersfield at home. I've got draw written all over that.
I'm going to go draw too.
Watford.
Chelsea, what are you saying? They've got Morata and Giroud as their 2 available strikers.
Batshuayi as well, but they don't seem to.
Did they actually keep Batshuayi or did not go back to Dortmund?
No, they kept him.
Batshuayi's class.
Yeah, but they don't.
If they'd ever play him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go draw now because Huddersfield is a hard place to go at the minute.
Yeah.
Watford Brighton. That's kind of got draw written on too, doesn't it?
Brighton could be in trouble. Brighton didn't buy any strikers, did they?
No, they've all their faith invested in Glenn Murray.
It's gonna be a tough year for them.
I'm gonna go draw there. Watford and Brighton draw.
I am gonna go with a Brighton win.
Brighton won, away one.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Throw it out there. Wolves.
A goal coming from a Shane Duffy from a set piece.
Nice.
I always put Shane Duffy in my fantasy football team. Not because I think he's going to keep lots of clean sheets, because I think every now and again he's going to get some goals from set pieces. He's Ireland. You know what? Harry Maguire is England's Shane Duffy.
Yeah, I can see that. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. Wolves and Everton. I'm going to go home one.
I'm going to go home 1-2 Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
This Wolves team could be another shock team.
I don't think Everton's going to take a few games to get their stride under Silva. Sunday, 1:30, Liverpool host West Ham. Now that is a fucking mighty one there. What is Pellegrini going to put out against you? You don't know what they expect because West Ham don't know what they expect. It's brand new 11 basically.
Yeah, it's an Anfield though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know how many fucks Klopp gives that West Ham's going to put out in front of him?
How many?
None.
Cool.
Do you want me to tell you what he's going to put out against West Ham? He's going to put out a front 3 of a fully fit, back in training for the last week and a half, Firmino, Salah and Mane, with his new and improved midfield. Well, I'd say new and improved.
Jordan's back.
Forget that. Gini Wijnaldum's been playing pre-season like a man on fire. James Milner up until he got... Oh, did I tell you James Milner got an injury in pre-season?
Oh, shit.
It's not an injury. He collided head with someone and needed 15 stitches in his face.
Nice. Oh, you did tell me that. You did.
And wanted to play the next day because he's such a nightmare. But
he is a warrior.
Do you know what's funny? I watched... Remember I said that he might play as the holding midfielder and that Fabinho and Henderson might have to wait till, a few weeks into the season before they get into the team?
Yeah.
Well, I think... I watched a game they played and Milner was playing ahead of Wijnaldum, who was playing as the holding midfielder. I'm guessing the top assist guy from last year's Champions League has to be playing in a more attacking role. I was amazed at this. I was like, why? What? Surely Milner would be the more defensive of the two. Turns out not.
Home one?
I'm going to go with a home win, and unless they have a complete another catastrophe at the back, which they could do because I think Van Dijk is their only fully fit centre half apart from young Nathaniel Phillips, who's decent young. He looked decent enough. He sort of probably cost them the goal last night, but Klopp seems to play. He's been playing him all pre-season. He's he's tall, strong, young centre half, and I would worry if they're going to be playing because Van Dijk tends to play to the left, and that side is fine with Robertson. But if they're going to play Trent and Phillips, it's a very young, very inexperienced fullback.
Side should be able to deal with West Ham on the day though. I'm going to go Liverpool 1-0. I'm going to give you the...
I'm going to go with Liverpool, and I'm just going to push the boat out and go with 3-1.
Oh, okay. Southampton host Burnley. That's kind of got drawn too, doesn't it?
That's got draw written all over it. I'm going to have to watch this. What time is that game on Sunday?
Same time as the Liverpool game, 1:30. So you ain't going to watch it.
This is interesting. My phone, because I'm guessing we're in this office, thinks I'm in America and tells me it's on 7:30 in the morning. Good times.
Here's an interesting one. Arsenal are home to City.
Well, I just want to say about the Burnley game, we don't know what's going to happen with Burnley because they haven't been able to get a lot of the players they wanted. But Burnley, a very good coach and a very solid team. Unfortunately, it looks like Brady's not going to be back for another while yet. God, they miss him. I just miss him too because I thought he was playing really well to get injured last year.
We like a bit of Brady.
Arsenal, Man City.
I would have said City, but the fact that Arsenal's home, that's a tough one.
You know what Arsenal fans are going to get some shocked by? They're going to get some shock with Socrates.
You know what? I'm going to go Arsenal.
Fuck it. Arsenal.
I'm going to go Arsenal. Only the fact that they're home. And City, I won't know what to expect because...
Has Emery had success messing with teams like Man City before when he was at Sevilla?
No, but when he's Sevilla, he fucking rolled over into every English team at some stage or another.
No, he completely beat the fuck out of Liverpool in collapse first half season.
Yeah. I'm going Arsenal.
He's a good coach of a team looking to get back to around the top four. That's what he was best at Sevilla. I think. Yeah, we'll go Arsenal. Fuck it.
Yeah.
See what happens. All right. So, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good, man. That's,
do you want to give out about Barcelona and Real Madrid being dicks in the transfer market?
Oh, you go and have that one.
Well,
inside 2 minutes, how much can you give out?
Well, we all know what Real Madrid do when they want to buy a player. They just go tell everyone they want to buy the player, and they wait for the player to fuck off his club so much that they give in and sell him to Real Madrid.
Yeah, they basically handle everything.
That's the way that Real Madrid kind of do their business.
It's pretty shitty.
Barcelona do, and this is what fucking pisses me off, and they did it with this Pogba deal. If this Pogba deal is the way they offered it, is they're lowballing the fucking club all the while doing deals with a player and his agent behind their back. When the fucking board of directors were meeting Griezmann's agent and sister in fucking broad daylight, they just tapping up to a whole new level. Then they do that lowball offer. They did Liverpool. They were offering Liverpool like 60 million for Coutinho, pretending they'd no money, and Liverpool were like, "Well, you just sold Neymar. We know you have money. Don't lie to us, or you can't have him." And then their mouthpieces, just like Real Madrid have Marca, and they have as a Sport or AS.
Yeah, something like that.
They have their own little newspaper putting out these stories. Oh, Coutinho's agreed a deal. It's going to happen any minute. It's going to happen any minute. Liverpool's owners, FSG, don't get up out of their seats in Boston very often. I mean, only if their stocks go down a bit. They're like, fuck, lads, we lost a bit of money here. That's when they seen Barca putting out those stories, they actually went out and put a statement on Liverpool's website and went, listen, we don't care what Barcelona are saying. We are not selling him in this transfer window. No matter what they say, it's not happening. And Barcelona were still putting these stories. Oh, he's agreed. It's going to happen anytime. It's going to happen anytime. And I'm telling people, it doesn't matter fuck what Barcelona are saying. The club have to get the money to sell the player. They have to get the money they want. And for them to lowball Manchester United, you don't lowball Manchester United.
It's pretty fucking cheeky now.
They have the richest club in the world. They are super, super rich. And they're not going to go, what's that? We're going to lose money on Pogba if we take these. Look, Yerry Mina I think Man United should buy Yerry Mina. I think he would fit their system perfectly. He's great in the air. He's solid tackler. He's a really, really good... I think he's a good player. Then again, he could go to Everton and be shit. And then I'll look like a fool. But from what I've seen, I think he looks like a quality player. So, however, Barcelona are going to take like 30 million from him. And to then go, oh, here's 45 million plus Yerry Mina and a midfielder. Nobody wants.
No, nobody.
Barcelona don't even want him. And they're like turning around. Like Valencia, the club he was playing well at when they bought him, they don't even want him. they turn around, they're like, oh yeah, Man United will take this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United sent them like a laughing emoji as a response. Are you fucking fingers you're like, you're funny, Barca, you're funny. Oh, what's that? You were serious? Fuck off.
I was sending a telegram with some guy to walk into the office and just smack them across the face.
This is what they do.
Say that again.
They lowball them because once they make an offer, the player knows it starts to unsettle the player.
Yeah.
They then start doing deals with his agent. They start putting out these stories about them agreeing fees or agreeing interest, and it's going to be any day now. All the while Man United sitting there going, will you stop unsettling our player? You cannot have him till you pay the fucking money.
I'm kind of glad that they left that lit in the window though, that it's not going to drag on. It's done and dusted on the day.
Now,
fuck off.
I used to hate Real Madrid because of the way they would buy anyone when they were in the Galacticos.
Yep.
I've always disliked them. You know, they're Franco's team. Goddamn fascists. But Barcelona, for me, in the last couple of years, since Pep left them, have got worse and worse when it comes to these transfer deals.
It's dirty, like
they're real dirty.
Filth.
they had Neymar a full year before they bought Coutinho, constantly fucking sending Coutinho messages telling him to come to Barcelona because he was his little brother and he needed his little brother. No fucking sooner does Coutinho land in, but fucking Neymar was out the week before. And they put so much pressure. They had stories that they were putting out stories that Coutinho was mad at Klopp for playing in the wrong position. He played the same position he did for Brazil. I didn't see him complain about that. They put out stories that Coutinho's family were pleading with him and that they felt under pressure at Liverpool to stay at Liverpool. Utter bullshit. Like, they were bringing the guy's family into it. Whereas Liverpool were like, no, this is our player. He's under contract.
Fuck off.
A huge contract. Here's how much it costs. If you want him, this is how much it costs. And they were so dirty. It was so many fucking stories that they were pumping out from their mouthpiece newspapers. I mean, I know Liverpool sometimes use the Liverpool Echo like that. But the Liverpool Echo, nobody gives a shit. Like, I mean,
we don't give a shit.
Like, you're a Man United fan. You don't read the Liverpool Echo. Like, I mean, it's only really good to confirm or deny a transfer story. That's it. And as much as I love James Pearce, that's about all I ever go to Liverpool Echo for is James, is this deal through? Or that deal's not happening. Good man, James. That's it. That's what
no
basically...
more, no less.
And it is good for that. But then when you get Barcelona with their fucking little newspapers going, oh, this deal's going to happen anytime that Barcelona's confident. In fact, they've flown the player over for a medical. And Liverpool are like going, no, he's right here. Stop making shit up to unsettle the player. And
you've definitely gone over your allocated 2
No
minutes.
sooner did Coutinho go, right? But they were like, Firmino, here's a fucking massive contract. Yes. We know how you Brazilians love Barcelona. You fucking take this massive contract. And thankfully Firmino took it. And then they got Salah a new deal. And it's all like, you want any one of those is 200 million. Like, they're going to want that. I think that's my rant over. 2 minutes, right?
Thanks for that, Sean.
They just pissed me off. I'm not even I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not supposed to stick up for Man United, but when I saw that deal, I went, that is downright disrespectful.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking shit.
You probably didn't even think it was that shitty till you realised that Andre Gomez is worth nothing. He's worth nothing.
What's did they buy him for? Something ridiculous, wasn't it?
They paid something stupid, like 40 million for him, but at the same time, it's not that he's not a decent professional player. It's not that he's rubbish.
He's just a shite.
It's not like that guy Liverpool used to have, Nunez, who was an accountant. That Real Madrid somehow squeezed into the fucking Michael Owen deal.
He's a player. Yeah, take him.
Forget that, right? But Gomez, Man United don't want him. Nobody wants him, really. It just boggles the mind that they would offer that. I mean, I would totally go, oh yeah, 45 million plus Yerry Mina is fine if you put maybe a 1 in front of the 45.
Yeah. 145 plus Mina, you would probably would have got a reaction.
Like, here, what do you think Pogba's worth in this market?
In this market?
World Cup winner.
Showed
how good he was as a all-round midfielder in the World Cup.
He's 160 now.
There you go. Man United, Barcelona, you've got to come and do better than that. That's downright disrespectful.
But Pogba was worth 90 a couple of years ago.
I think it's because I've had to put up with them doing this. They lowballed fucking Liverpool to get Mascherano. They were lowballing like ages for a full fucking year to get Coutinho. And I'm just like, yeah, I am sick of you pricks. I am sick of you.
Don't wish you luck.
Oh, fuck you, Barcelona. I want Atletico Madrid to win the fucking league this year.
Now we're talking.
Diego Simeone's a fucking...
We like a bit of Atletico.
He is a savage. Hey, they've made some good signings. And with that, Shane.
Slamash.